Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. My name's Larry. My call sign's Kilo 7 Hotel November. From around the world, welcome back to Ham Radio Live. Ask you to please subscribe. I don't really intentionally try to monetize the channel here, but, it just happens because YouTube does it and gets all the money for themselves.
Thank you.
Yeah, kind of like that. Anyway, please subscribe anyway because you'll only see the ads at the beginning. I won't monetize in the middle, and you can help someone else find a hopeful lifetime hobby in ham radio. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you may be around the world. I appreciate y'all coming whenever you do, and the thumbs up, they mean the world to me. Thank you. My goodness gracious. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome. Third show today. Woohoo! Okay, it's what happens when you don't sleep. Welcome. Good to see you guys. We have a fun show today. I love Sundays. Sundays are my favorite days to do shows. I want to start out by welcoming my brother, Bob, downstairs. Bob. Hi, bud. Welcome. Dinner's coming. Dinner's coming. I'll make sure. Okay. All right. I want to let you guys know, because this is such a great hobby we're a part of, that we want to share it. Now, you might think of ham radio as kind of that old technology like you saw a long time ago, or maybe you heard about it. Man, I'm going to show you some stuff today that might just blow your mind. We'd love to have you in ham radio. We really would. The tests to get your license are passable, and you have lots of help out there. But to get started, if you're in the U.S. or outside the U.S., feel free, contact the American Radio Relay League. They can be found here at this web address, www.arrl.org. Stands for the American Radio Relay League. They're out of Connecticut, and they're grateful to help you. So if you'd like to get into ham radio, they can help you by finding out, letting you know where a nearby ham radio club just might be to you. What if you're in the UK? Well, contact the Radio Society of Great Britain. They can be contacted at www.rsgb.org. That's www.rsgb.org. Big ups to Great Britain, because ham radio is growing there. That's good stuff. Good stuff in the UK. All right. Want to welcome you all to the show here today. It's going to be a great show. Ham Talk Live is fun to do. Truly is. And it's my favorite show of the week because we just hang out and talk, which is nice. I'm sorry I'm late. Had church earlier. And then because, the Flex Radio wasn't getting opened up because we had the power issues and all that stuff. Anyway, the 6500's here. Everything came, right? It's all in the box except for the connecting cable. Right. Great. The $30 cable didn't come with the expensive radio. Anyway, but now it's here and we can hook it up and play with it, which I'm excited to do, because I've got to tell you, I was really stunned when I saw the Maestro for the first time. Now, my friend Bob Nagy, AB5N, who has a great YouTube channel. If you've never seen it, you probably have. But if you haven't, go take a look at his material. It's phenomenal. Bob's a genius. His call sign is Alpha Bravo 5 November, AB5N. You'll find him here on YouTube. Does a lot of reviews on transceivers and various products. Bob's a brilliant guy, really smart dude. He did a review on the Flex Radio series. I think it was a 6300. He also did one on the Maestro. Well, I'd watched that a bunch of times because, as you know, for me, working from a comfortable position is really important. And one of the things Bob said, in fact, the very first thing he said in his review of the Maestro was, it's bigger than you expect. Wow. Is he right about that? I want to show you, just give you some perspective of what that really means, about how big the Maestro really is. Let me show you real quick. Compare it to a radio that you might have some experience seeing, because if you haven't seen this, you would have at least seen one of its siblings. Like, for example, maybe the Yaesu 1000, the 1000 Mark V, the 2000, okay? Or the 5000. 5000's been around since 2010. let me show you real quick what this looks like size-wise compared to a full-size Yaesu, like what they call a boat anchor radio. Look at this. That's the Yaesu behind the Maestro. No joke. That's to give you some perspective of just how big the Maestro is compared to the front of a Yaesu FTDX 5000. There's the 5000, and there's the Maestro. The Maestro maybe, and I mean it maybe weighs 4 pounds. Hardly any weight to it whatsoever. Excellent, and I mean excellent connectivity. Really good. We'll talk about it this week. We're going to go over the Maestro, the Flex 6500, and give you some general ideas on it. Now, I'm not going to be easy on anybody. I'm not easy on Yaesu, ICOM, Kenwood, Flex, Elecraft, anybody. I'll tell you what I think, and I'll tell you my litmus test here. My litmus test is going to be if I'm resetting this radio. Okay, because remember, it's a computer radio. This is a software-defined radio, full-on SDR. If I'm having to restart this thing a lot, like I do, for example, my Apple TV downstairs because of connection issues or whatever, it doesn't even have to be connection issues. It's got a good connection. It just needs to be restarted a lot. If I find that I have to restart this a lot and it's hardwired into my, internet, we have a problem. Because that to me is not going to be acceptable. I use ham radios to turn them on, use them and enjoy them. Then I'm done, turn them off, I'm done. But if this is something that needs to be restarted a lot, that's going to be a problem. And I'll tell you about that. I'll also tell you any other issues I might have with it, and I'll tell you the good stuff as well. One thing that really troubled me on this was I get this thing, right? And I couldn't open it for days because we were without power for so long and we had so much going on. So finally, this morning after the show that never seemed to ever end, jeez, I'm serious. Another time it happened. The show I looked at it going, it's still live streaming? Oh no. And you're like at Best Buy parking lot, 15 miles away. Brilliant. Great. Brilliant. Can't stop it. So anyway, sorry about that. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, the point is, this thing is going to be really well reviewed. Now, I've got some really cool stuff that came with it. Okay, so the 6500 plus the Maestro plus the Flex controller. Plus, I also have a Stream Deck here. Now, the Stream Deck, if you've never heard of it, you can buy them at like Amazon, Best Buy, stuff like that. They're literally, all they are is an electronic switcher. That's all they are. They're used similar to what they use in television stations to change scenes. For example, if I wanted to change scenes to The Question, I would just do this, and there it is, right? I come back here, and the screen just disappears, and there's no question, okay? That's similar to what the Stream Deck does. Now, the Stream Deck can be used with a Flex radio for things like bandwidth adjustment, changing bands, making adjustment to your noise reduction, turning it on or off. A lot of on-off functionality can be done with a Stream Deck and a Flex radio. I'm thrilled about that because I have a Stream Deck here, and I want to give it the thumbs up or thumbs down with the Flex radio. That's a wonderful thing to do. And keep in mind, if the Stream Deck doesn't really work well with the Flex, that's not Flex's fault. That's just the Stream Deck. It's another company that is compatible with the Flex, but it adds more connectivity to the Flex radio. That makes it really special. For folks that like to have buttons and knobs like me can have those buttons and knobs and control a radio. It's more than just a computerized radio, like a lot of people think Flex radios are. In fact, that's the main reason why I got the Maestro. Look at this. It's beautiful. Look at the size of this thing. I mean, I'm trying to think, okay, here's my iPhone, all right? So my iPhone's here. And this is an iPhone, what is it? Whatever the new one is. This is the size of it compared to the iPhone. It's big. The screen alone is 8 inches. It is as wide as the iPhone is here, and it will still fit about another third of an iPhone there. So big screen, and it's got great connectivity in the back, including 2 mic jacks. It's got a regular 1/8-inch jack and an RJ45 right there. So this has got tremendous connectivity, and it's rechargeable. So that's pretty cool. The knobs have some weight, which really surprised me. This is going to be fun to review. Looking forward to sharing it with you. We've had a lot of folks asking about doing the Flex Radio, so that'll be a lot of fun. All right, let's get into today's show. So today's question, what's the one that got away, right? We've all had the radio that we said afterwards, man, why did I get rid of that one? I like that radio, right? Maybe it's a receiver, okay? For example, for over 4 decades, I was in the shortwave part of this hobby. I got receivers, so I was buying Grundigs and, Zenith Transoceanics and Sonys and Texans and all kinds of Sangeans and all these different receiver manufacturers for years. And, for me, there were a lot of those that were hard to let go of because I got rid of most of my stuff to buy my ham radio gear. That's the truth. So maybe it's not a transceiver. Maybe it's a receiver only, or it could be a transmitter. Remember, the early days of ham radio were separate. They had a receiver and they had a transmitter. So maybe it was a receiver, could have been a transmitter that maybe you had once before that, just, gosh, you wish you would have kept it. I know a lot of folks feel that way about the R.L. Drake stuff. Some of the Drake stuff from the past is really collectible, really good too. Speaking of, by the way, did you see, it just came out, was it yesterday, I guess? The Superman comic #1. This is the first one. And the reason I say it's such a big deal is because it was the first one that talked about like superheroes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. So superheroes, it started out the superhero stuff. So, Superman and Aquaman and Thor and Batman, all that. Anyway, comic book #1 in like great condition. They think there's like 100 of these things left in existence of the very first edition of Superman. No joke. Literally. Just sold yesterday at auction. Did you hear? 3.25 mil. If we'd only kept what we had, right? No kidding. $3.25 million for a comic book that was literally $3.75 when it was new. No jokes. From 1938. Yep. And it's just sold at auction. And they said they started the auction off at 99 cents. Within I guess it was 12 or 16 hours, it was already up to $1.6 million. Wow. Yep. So anyway, that's some stuff. And also, I used to collect pinballs long time ago. Used to have lots of pinballs. Man, I wish I had them now. Looking at prices of used pins, man, they've gotten crazy. Stuff we should have kept when we were kids. So what about you? What about the radio that you wish you would have held on to? Maybe it was a transceiver. Could have been a transmitter. What was it? Interested to hear your comments today. Should be fun. By the way, in news right now in ham radio, the Yaesu FTDX10 out of stock again. Hard to find any FTDX10s anywhere. ICOM 7300s, coast to coast, are completely sold out. Yep. Not only that, the ICOM 7100 is also sold out coast to coast. Expecting next shipment to be at least late April, early May at the earliest for 7100s. So 7300s, 7100s, and the FTDX10. And now also you can add the 991 Alpha to that list as well. Yaesu's 991A is out of stock, at least for ham radio outlet, until late April. If you're going to DX Engineering, looks like it's going to be, I guess, sometime early June. And the people at Gigaparts, they're just saying they're just out of stock. Hurry and order yours now. So 991's also, the 991 Alpha is out of stock coast to coast. So, hey, if you got one of those radios and you want to sell it, this would be a great time to sell that transceiver and maybe make some money. That would be a good thing to do, because if they're not available, you can be sure that people are wanting them. And if you've got one in good condition, boy, you could probably sell one for pretty good. Welcome to the show, Whiskey 6, Juliet, India, Mike. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for coming. It's great to see you. Thank you. Great to see you. I appreciate you coming back. You always are so positive. I love that about you. Mean that. Thank you very much. All right. Change color question because that way the comments could come in and you can see them. Okay. He says, my 857D is such a bulletproof do everything radio. I ended up buying another one. Brilliant. And that's what I think people do. They have one and then they get it and it's like, gosh, I missed that radio. Why'd I sell that? And then they go out and buy it again because they appreciate it better. It's kind of one of those things. I'll share mine with you in a little bit. You might be surprised. I've got tons of, Yesus here, but you might be surprised. My brother Bob downstairs, baseball cards was his. Yeah, boy. See, my brother, he grew up in the I think it was in 1920s, I think it was 20s, right? Was it the 20s?
Yes.
Okay, so the 20s. Yeah. Kidding. No, my brother's from the 50s. But anyway, yeah, a lot of those old cards. Mickey Mantle, Carl Yastrzemski. Wow. Lou Gehrig could have been in there too. No, that'd be too late for Gehrig. That would be Ted Williams. Sorry. Ted Williams too. And Stan Musial. Wow. Good cards and worth money too. I could see that would be worth something. And Pobut got his FTDX10. Pobut contacting us all the way from Springfield, Oregon. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you. Thanks for coming. I love the emoji, man. That's awesome. I love that emoji. That is the coolest thing ever. It's great to have you. Thanks for coming all the way from Springfield. It's good to see you. I used to live there a long time ago when I was in radio back in the day. Now the station, strangely enough, not only did they change format from top 40 of the country, but they also changed frequencies. I guess I completely messed that radio station up forever,
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess once I left that station, that was kind of the end. Anyway. So what's the radio that you wish you still had? The transceiver, receiver, whatever. What is it that you wish you hadn't sold? I look back and I've been really blessed because when I got into ham radio, I got in 2018. So I haven't been in a long time, but I've been in radio a long, long time. Back to, 77 on the air. And so buying DX stuff like receivers since 75. Ooh, boy, long time. Anyway, my point is there's lots of them that I remember that were really, really good that I really miss because they were just fun to use. And that's why we use these. They're just for fun. We have a good time with them. That's why the Maestro is so interesting to me because it gives me the chance to finally from the, comfort of a chair, sit back, relax, and just be on the radio and be comfortable. That could be a game changer for me. So for me, I'm really hoping this Flex Radio thing works out. I really am. So what's the radio that got away from you? One of them for me was the ICOM 756 Pro 3. No joke. I had one and I loved it. It was a great transceiver and fun to use. Man, this thing's a ball. If you've never used one, here's a 756 Pro 3 in resolution. Let's call it, let's call it 1K res. We'll call it 1K. All right. But that's basically what it looks like. It's a fantastic radio. Great front end, really easy to use, and has a good connectivity in the back. Great sound. It sounds different than like the 7300s do today. It just has a warmer sound to it. It really did. I remember that real well. That was something I really liked about the Pro 3. A very, very good transceiver and something that was fun to use. That's what I remember about the Pro 3. It was just fun. It was a radio that you would go to because you enjoyed using it, like that. Whiskey 6, Juliet India Mike says also regretted selling his 10 Tech Triton 4. Wow. I want to see that. Hold on. Let's see if we can get that on the screen. Let's take a look. This might be a little bit difficult to do this quickly, but I'd like to honor you guys by trying to see if we can get those on the screen so we can, let you see what they look like, because to each person, these are really special, right? So let's see if we can get the pictures up and share with everybody what those look like. Okay. Wow. That's really pretty cool, actually. Was it the digital model? I got to ask you, was it the digital? Because that's really, wow. That's really cool. I mean, it's very futuristic. You could tell it's very old. I mean, this probably goes back, what, 80s? Looks like 80s. Let's take a look at it real quick. Here is the Triton by Tentec. Tentec, very well known, U.S. company forever. And they were in business and still are in business making transceivers. Here it is. That's it. The Triton 4. And it says, look at that on the bottom. This is great. You can tell this is from a long time ago. It says digital. But that was cool back then, because we went from analog, dials to digital dials. They were just a digital readout. That seems so long ago, doesn't it? When we went to digital. That's a fantastic one. Thanks for sharing that. Digital. Okay, perfect. So we got the right one on the screen. That's it. So that's the Tentec Triton 4, Triton 4 digitals. That's what you had. Wow. That's really cool. I could imagine back in the day how special that was, because you have the digital readout there, and then you have the analog meter right beside it. You've got all the controls in front of you, a big VFO knob. And what I like about it is I like the warmth of that meter. The warmth of that meter is just kind of old school cool, right? It's neat. Thanks for sharing. That's good stuff. All right. So which one for you? Any other ones? By the way, if you've got any other ones you remember selling, let me know, okay? His 857, we'll get that up because I think this is really important. The 857 is a radio that has been mentioned here before by people who really enjoyed that radio a lot. And let me show you real quick what it looked like, because this is something that, you still, and you can still find them. Those aren't really too difficult to find. Here's an 857D. That's what it looks like. Not huge. Kind of reminds you a little bit of Yaesu stuff today, right? A lot of the stuff they have today, because, basically that's what it is. By the way, the 857Ds, man, some people say they're still the best mobile rig there is out there. They do. Yep. And you think about this, okay? You've got the 891s, right? You've got the 400s, okay? The 400s are just, VHF, UHF, but still, the 891 with the LCD screen. But this is, a little different look. And this was the 857D. Beautiful transceiver. What's neat about it, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Kenwood 480HX, where it has the detachable body to it, right? And then from the microphone, you can adjust your span or your, the way you are tuning from right there on those buttons on the mic, and you adjust it out. So there it is, HF. Beautiful. Man, that was a neat radio. All the stuff that one could do. The 857D. By the way, on the 857D, what's kind of interesting about it, I'll share with you real quick for people that might not know. That was another all-bander, similar to the 991 Alpha or 891s. Okay, multi-mode, 100 watts out. And at the time, it was really, really special. But a lot of things have changed, because we've grown in ham radio. And the 857D was one of those ones. It was 100 watts out, gave you 50 watts out on VHF and 20 watts on UHF. But it was all in one. And it fit in your vehicle, or it could be put on your desk. Pretty sweet. That's pretty cool. Thanks for sharing that. Always a pleasure to hear from you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Kevin's back. Welcome, my friend. His call sign in Great Britain is Mike 0, Mike Charlie Lima. Welcome back. Oh, this one hurts. This one hurts. This one really hurts, because this is what I wanted. when I was studying for my test. Yeah, that's a special one. I'm good with pride, Kevin. With pride, I'm putting this one on the screen because I still want this one. I really do. You know, I was the dummy that went in HRO after I passed my test. I was so happy to have my license, because I was going to buy a ham radio. My first one. I was so excited. Anyway, I was going to go get my radio, right? And I'm like, hi, my name's Larry. Good to meet you. I'm here to pick up a brand new radio. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. That was not very brilliant. Still not very brilliant, but I try. Anyway, the 7600, I said, I want to buy a new 7600. And this is a terrible picture of it. We deserve better. We do. Hold on. Let me get a better picture of it. Because this is not a good picture of this radio. It's such a beautiful transceiver. It really is. Nice looking screen. Would remind you a lot of the 7610, but with one VFO. It looks pretty similar to that if you haven't seen one. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right, that's a little better. So 7600, it was one receiver, but it had dual watch. That was pretty sweet. Had dual watch on it. Looks very similar in size and appearance in most ways to the 7610, but it's not quite the radio. But boy, for super hets, that was the last ICOM super heterodyne radio that they actually designed. 7100 came before the 7600 did. So that was it. And once the 7300 came out, they wanted to put a dual VFO out, so they came out with the 7610, discontinued that 7600. Kevin, I completely agree. I love the 7600. I do. Yeah. I've really looked at getting one too because, it's kind of like that one that got away. For me, I didn't have it, but it was the one that got away because it was so beautiful. And I still don't feel I've done it justice because I want to just look at it one more time. That's a better picture. There we go. That's a much better photo. That's a 7600 from ICOM. And, you can get these. They're still available. Some folks are kind of nutty on their prices. If you see folks that are at $1,700, $1,800, no. It was expensive new. I get it. But you can buy 7610s now for close to $2,000. So, it's a 7600, SDR versus Superhet. It's got the nice display on the 7610, plus you can put it out to your monitor if you want to. Dual VFO. There's a lot of advantages to the 7610 the 7600 doesn't have. So reasonable pricing, probably in that $1,1300 range now. But man, what a fantastic transceiver. Kevin, thank you so much. Not only for coming to the channel, but for what you said. I love that. That's personal to me too. Except for it's not the one that got away. It's the one I wish I got here. So there you go. And that 857Ds, HF, VHF, UHF, and don't forget 60 meters. Yep, got to get 60. Good old 60. Well, there you go. The people in Hawaii, man, that's big to them. They use 60 meters all the time. They need 60 because sometimes 40 just won't work for them in the islands, and 80 just won't work as well. So they go right at 60. They'll pick one of the 5 channels and they'll go there. That's what they do. So 60 meters is still pretty popular. So what's the one that got away for you? What is it? Receiver, transceiver, transmitter? What was it? Could be a Drake, could be a 10-tech. Heck, it might even be something really old like Collins or something too. A lot of old stuff out there that people are collecting today. I know one of the coolest collections I've ever seen for radios, whether it be receivers, transmitters, not really transceivers. He doesn't have a lot of those. I'm talking about Martin F. Jew, MFJ, Mr. MFJ. Most of his collection is like pre-65, and it's all pretty much receivers and transmitters. That's what he has. And they're excellent. Oh my gosh, they're beautiful. If you ever have a chance, Go to Starkville, Mississippi, and go take a tour. Seriously, he's such an accessible man, too. He'll make time for you. Go meet him. Take a look at his collection. He is really one of the kindest people there is in ham radio. Martin F.G. of MFJ. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff. He loves the old stuff. But on his desk, right there at MFJ, so for K5 MFJ, they're using a Flex. I think it's either a 65 or a 6700. But, yeah, that's what they've got there. So, what's the one that got away for you? Okay, mine, one of them was a 756 Pro 3. That was one of them. There's one more. Which one's for you? My brother's picking baseball cards. Now, out of all the investments here, I think baseball cards probably wins the whole deal. Some of those things, my God. It's a piece of cardboard, real literally, right, with a picture on it and stats on the back. And they're worth a fortune. They can be worth a fortune. Kevin, back from Great Britain. Thank you very much again for coming back with another. This is good. My other big regret, although not a transceiver, was selling my ACOM 1010 linear amplifier. Really wished he had kept that. I like that. Let's take a look at it. That's good. We can all grow from this channel. I like that. That's a good thing to learn from. So let's take a look at it. I like to. Not that Kevin wants to see it again. He knows what it looks like. And he's like in his head going, oh, no, I don't want to see it again. It's not a good thing. Don't make me see it again. These are actually really very popular amps, and they're really valuable. There was one at auction recently that was up for, I don't know what it finally sold for, but man, was it expensive. I know that. Look at this. Here it is. That's the 1010 linear amp right there. Man. Well, for just a little bit of money, you too can own one of these. And look at how beautiful that is. Wow. That is one gorgeous amp. It really is. Reminds me a little, doesn't it remind you a little bit of the Elecraft, the KPA series? Looks a lot like that, doesn't it? Let's take another look at that. Get you a little different view of it. This one's from DX Zone, and I think it's a little better photo of it for you, Kevin. I think it's a little better photo, hopefully. Let's see. I was going to say it's probably going to render in like size 2. But there you go. That's it. The ACOM 1010. Man, that's beautiful. I mean, and what I love about it, it's simple. Look how simple it is to use. That's a very simplistic amp. Pretty cool. It can hold up to 240 watts of reflected power, which is phenomenal. That's phenomenal. That's a lot. I mean, that's quite a bit of reflected power coming back. So it does very well. And it says it matches antennas less than 10 seconds. Okay. It'll do 3-to-1. It will input match automatic, so it'll be like a remote, similar to what most amps do today, from 160 all the way to 10 meters, and has a single Svetlana tube in it, ceramic metal tetrode with plate dissipation of 800 watts, forced air cooling. It's grid driven for maximum efficiency, and it says it will work from nominal line voltages between 100 and 240 volts. Pretty darn cool. So, wow, not bad there, Kevin. That's that. You've had some nice stuff there. It says also can be shipped with 10 and 12 meter capability. And man, I love it. I love simple things like that. If it's simple to use, then that means I can use it because, I like things I can use. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yeah, kind of like that. Jim says, I wish I had purchased an Elecraft K1 before they stopped production. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, hold on a second. I know what you're saying, and it's tough because the K1, was their first, right? The K2 has been out forever. It's the oldest continually running ham radio still for sale, by the way. Came out in 1998. And I had to think for a moment, okay, was it the K1 that's still out or the K2? It's the K2. So, and the funny thing was, Elecraft, Hillicraft, when they came up with it, they said they didn't want to name something after mountains. They didn't want to do it. They both were kind of in Apple stuff, and everything seemed to be Apple. They were like, don't going after mountains. Anyway, funny story, but that was their thing. Lizzie Fan, Fred in Massachusetts, sorry. Super easy to tune. I have both the 1010 and, wow, he's got both the 1010 and a 1000. Wow. He says it's great for contesting, especially for a tube amp. Kevin says great amp, tune and load in under 10 seconds. That ain't bad. Fred says 1010 is 60 through 10,000, adds 6 meters. Pretty cool. John in Canada, bless your heart. What a nice comment. Thank you. Thank you. It's still one of those nights a day. But the good thing, I don't have as many as I used to. I used to have like 3 or 4 of them a week, literally, where I'd be up all night long. I couldn't sleep. Last night was the first one I think I've had since we were in Hawaii. So it's been a while. Almost about a month. So yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. So different setting on the neurostimulator they put in me. And it's kind of working, but I kind of tweaked with it last night because I was sore. I think I just, did too much. But John, thank you for your kindness. I appreciate that. John's joining us from Canada. Nice to see you, John. Thank you. Thanks, John. Thank you very much. It's very thoughtful. So what's the one that got away from you? What's the one? Well, somebody mentioned it already. They did. But they mentioned it in a different way. Okay. For me, the one I kind of regret selling is the one that, it led to getting a directional antenna. Okay. So yeah, there's a path here, but the point is it was the FTDX10. I really like that radio. I do. It is a very easy to use, compact, well laid out radio, except for the VFO area, the buttons around the knob. It's just they're too tight. But if you use a mouse with it, they're brilliant. It's a great transceiver use. I miss it. Yaesu's got a winner there on the FTDX10, I think. I really do. So what's the one that got away from you in ham radio? Whether it be a receiver or a transmitter or it be a transceiver. Could be any one of those. Just be for a few more minutes. We'll close the show. And then I'm going to hook up this so I can make that work and hook that up. Because doggone, I've been looking forward to that for almost all week. I'm so excited. That'll be fun. It's going to be neat to see how well it works. I'm just really hopeful that this thing does not need to go through constant restarts. That will bother me. And I've heard from a lot of reviewers on Flex Radios that that's one thing that they have found is that they do have to restart them. And it's like, that'll be a problem. So I hope it doesn't work out that way. Anyway, so receivers that maybe you had, that you wish you still had, but you sold them for something that you thought might be better. Lizzie, Fred, all the way in the East Coast, my first Kenwood 440, looking for one at an upcoming ham fest. That's pretty sweet. Let's take a look at it, Fred. We've had the 440 mentioned here before. People who mentioned about their favorite rigs. So that's interesting you bring it up. That's pretty sweet. Let's take a look at the Kenwood TS440. The TS440 is right there. You didn't have the SAT, did you? Or did you? If you had the SAT, let me know, all right? That is the TS440 right there. Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to getting it. I really am. It's been, it's time. So looking forward to getting it and getting it up in the air. I'm going to have to have some people do that for me. But there's some folks that will do it. So I'm very grateful. And that's cool. That's the Kenwood 440, by the way. That's it. Look at how beautiful that is. All the buttons conveniently right there, placed in one place. The knobs are on one side. This was well thought out. Look at how well ergonomically this transceiver was built. Okay? It has a set of 7 buttons on the left. You've got the switch on the left side as well. Okay. Then on the center and just to the right of the VFO, you've got your button controls. You have 4 buttons that underneath the pots. Then you've got 5 knobs. So actually, no, that's incorrect. You actually have 9 knobs there because you got outer and inner knobs, plus you have the lower one. That is the Kenwood TS 440. Beautiful transceiver. My goodness. I can see why you missed that. I really can. Wow. Beautiful. Fred, how long ago did you have that? Curious. That's neat. That's a neat looking rig. I like that. I look for transceivers that have good ergonomics, something that's easy to use. That's why it's a little confusing to me why I like the FTDX10, because ergonomically it just isn't the greatest the way it's set up with the VFO. The 756 Pro 3 was really cool. So is the ICOM 7300. Well thought out, well laid out. 7610, same thing. 7600, same thing. 9700, same thing. You see I'm going with this? They're very similar. And the way that ICOM does their software is the same way, which is brilliant. Yaesu now is doing the same thing with their operating system. They're basically copying what they did before. So if you've used one of their transceivers, it's like a hybrid SDR. The other one's going to work the same way, or in the same way at least. Fred said it was the SAT, and it was bare bones, no bells, whistles. It was great. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. 1995, got it 95. Wow, that's fantastic. Let's take a look. I want to show, because this is such a neat radio. I love the look of this. I do, because what's kind of cool about this transceiver, excuse me, if you look at it, I want you to get a little better look at this. Ooh, that's a better picture. Hold on. Get this one. Better angle of it. Hang on. That's a better angle. Look at the lighting on that. That's beautiful. My goodness gracious. See, I like it because the knobs are in one place. It makes it easy to use. Buttons, man, you can use it with 2 hands or use it with 1. You're fine, but 2-handed control, simple with this. Man, you could just go to town with that. Look at that. That's a beautiful radio. Fred, I can see why you like that. That's a fantastic transceiver. Yep, that's a good one. That's 160 to 10, okay, which was common for that time frame. 160 to 10 was common. Didn't get 6 on those. Okay, that wasn't part of it. That was VHF. So you didn't get that. Now, if you look at EHAM on that transceiver, 4.6, 97 reviews, 4.6. That's fantastic. Wow. Wow. So, fantastic transceiver, and unfortunately, one of those ones is long gone. Now taken place by the 590 SG. So, yeah, beautiful rig. Wow. Fred, that's a good one. Congratulations. You know, one of those things, at least you say you owned it, you had the experience with it, and I really hope you find it at a ham fest. I do. That'd be cool. I can imagine you walking up, right? You're going to walk up on that rig, and you're going to go, oh, well, I might have some interest in that. What are you asking for it? And then the guy's going to get you a price, and you're going to be thinking, can I work him down just a little more? Aren't you, Fred? Right?
Thank you.
You will. You will. And then you're going to walk away with it in a box, and you're going to be like going, yes, yes.
Yes.
You know you will. It'd be awesome. That'd be so cool. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it. That's good for today. That's 3 shows. And I'm going to play radio now and see how well this Maestro works, because I'm dying to try it. Thanks for watching Ham Radio Live. It's been my honor and privilege to show you the show today. Tomorrow we'll do some test questions, show you a little bit about the Flex Radio 6500. I had to remember what radio I bought. I'm not tired. See you tomorrow at right about 11 a.m. Pacific time. Until then, God bless you. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's my honor and privilege to be here and to spend time with you. Appreciate that. Fred, oh yeah. Oh, when he gets that ready to be happy as a clam, he will be. That's great. That's great. Remember, if you see a used 7300, 991 Alpha, 7100, those are sold out coast to coast right now. See them used, you might see some people asking a little more money for them. 590 SGs are still available in that price range. Very different. Also, FTDX 10s, hard to find as well. So FTDX 10, 991A, 7100, 7300, hard to get. So if you see them used, well, you're going to, okay, close yet. Hold on. Greg is here. Kilo Fox 0 Charlie Union Zulu. Man, we got to say hi to Greg. Hi, Greg. Oh, no, this is special. Oh, we got to get this. We got to get this up here. Wow. Heathkit from 54. Hang on. Let's see if we find something on that. Hold on. Let me try and find something. We'll see if we can. It probably won't be the right one, but we'll try and find it. Hold on. Heathkit. And I'm assuming it's probably a receiver. Well, let's do the transmitter. Let's see if we, well, we'll do the receiver. Those are cooler. Hold on. Receiver. Hold on. Because that's back when transmitters were separate. So let's get a picture of both. Why not? We're here. Let's do both. Okay. 1954. Here's one. Ooh, wow. Look at this. Oh, wow. Look at this. This is beautiful. Greg, wow. Imagine having a memory of your grandfather with that. Look at that beautiful rig. Wow. Tubes, right? Tubes. Kept your hands warm if it was cold. Oh, it's just classic. The colors, too, the classic 50s colors. Look at that. They just scream 50s, don't they? Wow. That's really cool. Greg, I can see why that brings back some great memories for you. Is that why you're in ham radio? Just curious. Did Grandpa have an influence there? Did your dad also? I wonder if Grandpa handed down to your dad, handed it down to you, or was it Grandpa direct to you? I won't close the show till I hear from you. He says it was a GR54. Okay, hold on. We'll pull that up. Hang on. Hang on, we'll take a look. Oh, wow. Holy mackerel, this is beautiful. Look at this. This reminds me a lot of the old stuff I used to use in receivers. It does. Wow, this is really beautiful. Look at this. Oh my, that right there that's a work of art right there. Wow. It's got the big tuning dial, right? With the multiple bands. And then you've got the meter down below in the middle. Perfect spot for that meter. Look at that. Man, that is beautiful. Oh, man. Greg, I could see why you love that. That's beautiful. What memories. What great memories. Did your dad hand it down to you, or did your grandpa hand, like, the love of ham radio down to you? I won't go to you to tell me. I want to hear that. That's a good one. Let's see. Used to listen to see with him, I think, right? I used to listen to my dad was in radar in the Air Force and listen to shortwave. I used to listen with my grandpa on shortwave. That's right there. That's the comment of the show. Yeah. That's the comment of the show, buddy. That's it right there. Yep. When it goes that deep, when it's that thick, when that much in your heart, it never leaves you and it becomes a part of who you are. Greg, that's great. Man, I'm so glad you have that memory. You deserve that. Hold on to it. Hopefully pass it down, because that's something that would really make your grandpa probably really happy. Very, very special. Greg says, didn't get my license in the 90s because of code. Me too. Okay. But happy to have my general now. Congratulations, Greg. I mean that. Congratulations, buddy. Now we're going to work on getting you the extra. We're going to do that, buddy. We're going to get you the extra. We're going to work hard. Study hard. Okay? I'm not a substitute, but Study. You can get it. You can do it. You can do it. Wow. Good memories today. This is fun. Look at this nice comment from Whiskey 8 Romeo Bravo Yankee. Appreciate you, 73. Thank you so much. I mean that. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Thank you very much. Sean, from east of the Cascade Mountains here in Oregon, his call sign is Alpha India 7 Echo Quebec. Good afternoon, Larry. Sorry I'm late. Hope you're doing well. Well, I'm in my Saturday, Sunday mode. I think I got like an hour's sleep. So I guess it's kind of part 2 days. Today's question, Sean, if you got a few moments, what's the one transceiver or radio? So it could be a receiver, transmitter, could be a transceiver. Okay. Which one may be used to own that you wish you doggone well would not have sold? Which one is it? Be curious to know. And by the way, Greg, that's the coolest comment, man. That's so sweet because it brings back such great memories. When you think about, maybe with your grandfather sitting around something like this right here and listening to maybe Radio Free Europe or possibly, Radio Moscow, right? Could be Voice of America. Some of the stations that are long, long gone on these transceivers, they just had a special sound. They did. I have the Sony 2010 back there, and I love the sound of it. It's really good. But it doesn't compare to the old Zenith Transoceanic with tubes. They're just warm. They just sound different. It's a special sound. Also a special smell, too. It really is. They have their own unique smell. So that's it. I guess we'll wrap it at that, and we'll thank you for coming. We'll be here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Please translate that into your local time zone. If you would like to get into amateur radio, we would love you in here. Look at all the fun you could have. These are nice people. These are wonderful people. And this is part of what you can do in amateur radio. You can meet people from all over the world, and they become your friends, truly, just by making calls on the radio that you selected with the antenna you put up in your yard or your patio or maybe your roof, and with the feed line that you connected it with, and all the hard work it took you to get that license. If you'd like to get licensed, please, if you're in the U.S. or even outside, you can contact the American Radio Relay League. They're located on the internet at www.arrl.org. That's www.arrl.org. They'll be able to connect you with a ham radio club that's near you. If you're in the UK, please contact the Radio Society of Great Britain. In fact, they could probably help you as well. If you're outside of the UK, maybe you're somewhere in Africa or the Middle East, but you don't know where a local radio club is, contact them at RSGB, Radio Society of Great Britain.com. That's www.rsgb.com. They'll be able to help you out, okay? If you'd like to contact the show, we'd be honored if you would. Contact the show by email at cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. Thank you so much. Appreciate you coming. My goodness. 2 more comments, then we'll do the sign off. Got to get to these. They're too important. So today's question is, what's the one that got away? That special radio. Maybe it was a receiver. Could have been a transmitter. Might be a transceiver. That's why they're called transceivers, because it combined a transmitter and a receiver together. Because the old days, they were separate. Yep. You could have a Heathkit receiver and a Drake transmitter, but they worked because that's what they did. One was supposed to receive, the other to transmit. Sean said it would be his first radio. Radio Shack HTX 202 handheld. Made lots of contacts with it, but sold it to buy a dual band HT. He said many, many years ago, wish he had kept that doggone thing. Let's take a look at that. Not to make you feel bad. Don't want to do that. But we do want to honor you by showing it, okay? Hang on, Sean. Let me find it for you. Radio Shack HTX 202. Hang on. HTX 202. And away we go. Let's get a picture of it. And hopefully we can... oh, wow. That looks pretty modern, really. I mean, it doesn't look that old. I mean, that's pretty cool. Take a look at this. This is the HTX 202. That was Sean's first. Isn't that cool? That's classic cool right there. Got the rubber duck, and it's got the push button. It's got it all. That's nice. You could just see someone using that, working 2 meters or 440, right? That's pretty sweet. Sean, thank you so much for that. That is very special. That's the one that he wishes he had back right there. I can see why. You need to get another one, man. Sean, find another one of those. You can do it. Yep. Oh, yes. Easy Chair Radio. Tim. No. No, I wish. Here's the thing. The one thing I didn't count on with the FTDX10 was the weight, because, it weighs, I think it's like, 12 pounds. When you have that on your lap for a while, at least for my legs, because of my disability, it made my legs get numb, okay? So with this now, with the Maestro, this thing weighs maybe 5 pounds, I guess, 5. But look how thin this is. This is 1.5 inches. That's all it is, 1.5 inches. And the size of this is about more than 3/4 the entire front face of a Yaesu FTDX 5000. That's how big the Maestro is. So it's no compromise. It's a fantastic little thing, and I'm looking forward to getting to work with it today. I'm excited to finally try it out. So I'm excited very much for that. So, nope, sold the 7300 because we're saving some money. My wife said, Larry, we got to go back to Hawaii. True story. So, either we're going to do that or I'll get a 991A. I'm thinking the 991A because that gives me VHF, UHF. But we'll probably go to Hawaii because it'll make her happy. Anyway, that's it, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, okay? I'll be here at 11 o'clock Pacific time. I hope to see you then on Ham Radio Live. And now for the sign-off. Sign-off today comes from Anglia Television. Anglia, part of the UK. This I hope you enjoy. See you tomorrow on Ham Radio Live. Until then, God bless you. Have a very pleasant evening or a great day wherever you are. Bye, everybody.
Our thanks very much to the Reverend Donald Hilton. And that brings us to the end of our day. We'll be back with you from 9:30 in the morning. I hope you'll be able to look in. So on behalf of everyone here at Anglia, it's a very good night, and we'll leave you with a rundown of our programmes for the evening. I hope you sleep well. Good night. Time for us to wend our way home, so don't forget to switch them off, will you? Good night.
That's all, folks.